Testing one.
Oh, thanks.
It's not push to talk, it's just talk.
Oh, well, professionals.
Yeah.
All right. Got
We know what we're
last
doing.
couple of folks hop in here. All right. We good. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to PAX.
Day one, yeah.
Way better reaction than I thought we were going to get. So that's pretty awesome.
It's not for us, it's for the show.
It's true, it's for the show. All right. We're going to get kicked off.
You gotta stop.
Why are you like this?
Not absolute cinema.
It's not absolute cinema. It's about the family.
Oh, that's me. I'm up first. Okay. Hi, my name is Sarah. I write about video games for the internet on sites like IGN and Polygon RIP and a bunch of others. And I'm also an editor and game consultant. And I do like M-dashes. I'm not an AI. I just like M-dashes.
It's one way to tell. All right.
Oh, that's me. Hello. I'm Sam Dixon. Video game coverage is not my day job. I do audio and video work for Division I athletics. Turns out there's a lot of technology in sports, and none of the sports players know how to work it.
And he's the F1 driver because he somehow set the record.
I currently have the #2 spot on the Red Bull creator thing over there.
Oh, this is me. I'm the EIC at SideQuesting, and I wrote this the other day, and I'm probably at hour 400 of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So yeah, keep me going.
Hey, that's me, Taylor. I'm an editor also at SideQuesting.
Yeah, and he's here so he can make fun of my bad takes.
Oh, yeah. There will be many of them.
Almost exclusively.
Hello, I'm a freelance writer, journalist. If you ever use like map guides from IGN, a lot of the solo stuff I've done. So if you use the Tears of the Kingdom map, that was me, solo map editor for 9 months. That's the one most people know me for. Dragon's Dogma 2, Pokemon Arceus, Scarlet Violet. I've done work for Rolling Stone as well, Wired, GameSpot, just bunch of work. It's mostly the thing where like people just haven't met me, so that's, yeah.
And he's the reason that my games are always like hundreds of hours long, because I'll look at one of his maps and guides and be like, oh, I missed that little shiny thing in the corner.
When I met Daliver at the Game Awards, and he's like, yeah, I know who you are. I used your Tears of the Kingdom map. Yeah.
I don't have any fun backstory. I'm just a chemist by day, and I just play old video games when I'm not
By
doing
night, and sometimes by day.
More hours have been spent playing like Super Mario World at work than probably real work at
So
this point.
stay away from the water in Seattle.
Yeah.
Also here to make fun of my bad takes.
Yeah, well.
We had a late addition because one of our folks had to drop out. Matt Finneman right here. So he's
not allowed on stage.
He's not allowed on stage. Didn't pass the security check,
Just
but he'll be.
don't ask why.
Yeah, don't ask why.
But we still let him in the building for
Yeah.
some reason.
He always finds himself in there, though.
There you go. And of course,
No.
he's not here. So,
He was also, yeah.
Yeah.
He's who's he's replacing.
He really wanted to be here.
really did. So what is a 7? So a fun fact about the number 7, I canvassed everybody on like Blue Sky and all over the place, and our Discord and all y'all, and I said, what's a 7? We somehow managed to get 7 panelists. Again, suckers. It takes 7 different crystal beasts to summon the rainbow dragon.
Yep.
Some places believe cats have 7 lives instead of 9. Furious 7 was the most successful of the series of the Fast and Furious, which is good for us, I think. The number of seasons of Gilmore Girls, West Wing, Mad Men, and Buffy, so thank you.
Yes.
Number of rows in the periodic table.
Well, yeah.
Technically, yeah. And then I asked Google AI, and also probably sunk down a dam full of water. It's a perfect number for a group of friends. You can always have 7 friends. You can have with 1 left. Google is AI definitely wants to end us, as you can tell. Just bizarre. I don't know how.
They're turning friend circles into battle royales.
It's like, hey, you can get like 2 teams of 3, and one of you is left out.
Yeah, it's not a group of friends unless someone is left out.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Which is why Dali will be removed from the friend group.
Yeah, I'm not in the chat later on. Yeah, exactly. So what about games? You guys sensing a theme is happening here? Okay. What about games? The emphasis of fun over polish. And what, you play games, you're like, it's just good. It's like a time sink. I'm comfortable in it. It's got bugs. Sometimes you squash those bugs quite literally in some games. But, it just scratches that itch. Like, you can always go back to a game that's a 7. It's not necessarily like a desert island game, but, I think it's
a staycation game.
It's a staycation game. Oh, I like that. It's a staycation. You probably can't remember exactly when it was released, but it was August or March or probably October. It was definitely May of 20XX or February of 1990X. It's one of those. But it was out. You remember it launching. Your friends will ask, why are you playing that? You should be playing Clear Skirt Expedition 3030. So I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for the last 4 months. Each one of these people. But yeah, it's like, there's a hot new game out there, right? I'm gonna go back to Fallout 3 or whatever, It's just one of those where you're like, I don't need FOMO at the moment.
Yeah.
You've also already bought 3 copies of it on Steam because you forget you own it.
You got the remastered one.
The
You
remastered.
remembered it, but then you forgot it.
Then there's the definitive edition. Then there's the 10-year anniversary somehow, even though it's only been out for 3 years.
GOG put it up.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
now you got it DRM
GOG
free.
is on it. Yeah. You get the big patch. So, And then you're likely not going to see much about it from a video game journalist, probably because there are no more video game websites left. Pour one out.
Hire me, please.
Pour one out for our friends at Polygon and Giant Bomb and every other website on the planet, apparently. Just a bummer, but
Good friend of the show, Jeff Grubb.
Jeff Grubb, who's here in the next couple days, I think.
Yeah.
And the mid-tier publisher, baby. It's like, you typically don't get like Electronic Arts or Ubisoft, but you may get like, I don't want to say Devolver, because they're kind of like AAA at this point, you'll get like Deep Silver, or whatever.
There's plenty of 7s out of big.
There's
out of the
Saber
big dogs,
Interactive,
man.
which I love Saber Interactive, by the way. But yeah.
Oh, God.
And then games based on an IP. So, hypothetically speaking, there's Fast and the Furious games. I found 7 of them. 2 of them are arcade games. Actually, the arcade games are kind of fun.
Well, the only vaguely good thing on there is the DLC for Forza.
Yeah, the Forza DLC is.
I thought that third one was like literally the Mario Kart arcade game that you slipped in there by.
It probably is Raw Thrills. So hit the cruiser one.
Does anybody else make them other than Raw Thrills? I don't think they do.
Not at this point.
That's why you're the F1 champ. So
Yeah.
You're going to tell us. Okay, so now it's time for our favorite 7s. It's funny because the plane in the background was the Furious 7 plane, but I couldn't Photoshop out the fast and part fast enough because it was this morning. So this is what
We're not. Listen,
we run this shoestring budget.
16 years we've been running the shoestring budget.
So the first game on our list. So let me kind of explain how we're going to be running things here. Trying to run things, let's just say. We have our favorite 7 games, right? We've each chosen 2 games. Nobody on this panel knows what anybody else chose, except for me, because I had to make this freaking presentation. Thanks for no help, everybody.
Pleasure.
Thanks for not offering.
Pleasure's all mine.
So they're reacting to it the same time you guys are seeing it as well. And we each have 2, so it's like 14, I think, with Matt as well. And then we're going to go through those. We're going to rank from S tier to F tier using your help as to what is.
So
we'll have to figure out what the.
Listen, we don't need to break down any mechanics about how this works.
and then we want y'all to come up to the mic and tell us your favorite 7 rated games. And we got some prizes and surprises and free games and a bunch of other stuff for you guys and gals and everybody. So, first game on the list.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Oh, MX Superfly, how I miss you. Who remembers who Ricky Carmichael is? Because I didn't and had to look it up. He's retired now.
How dare you?
But yeah, MX Superfly comes from the time period where sports games were cool. and when everything needed to be Tony Hawkified. So we couldn't just have a normal motocross game. It had to be extreme. So everything about this game, down to the mini games, which includes golf and like big jump competitions, just has that air of like late 90s, early 2000s, I'm too cool to be doing this.
I mean, the logo
attitude.
is a tribal tattoo.
Yes. Oh, and it's loaded in the game. I loaded back into this game a couple times just to like refresh my memory. It's rough. But it still plays really good. I think it was maybe one of the first like motocross games that had like the sort of spring system to set your jumps like higher. So I played it on GameCube, so you had the lovely analog
triggers.
Yeah, triggers. So it's like it was even easier to do on that. Was a great multiplayer game. Because of those mini games, you could have like big jump competitions. It would really just be like half an hour of how high can you get your digital guy to go. And then they also, it was like one of the first games that had a like open world for me that I was able to just go into, and it had like different characters and stuff hidden within the map that you could unlock then for other stuff. So it really was just like, motocross is like kind of the floor.
It's an afterthought.
And then everything else is like
the floor.
This
I've
is
never
the
heard
fun.
someone say
This
that.
is like the fun that we have that we actually planned for you. Motocross is just how you get there.
Yeah.
There is like actual racing and trick competitions and stuff, but that's like not as fun as everything else in the game.
They needed to do it like a Dark Summit one where it's like, you
Yes.
got a murder mystery.
Yeah,
and
it like the hidden characters were all like one of them's a Viking and one of them's an alien. Like it's like the clearly like, you know, wild late 90s like stuff, as opposed to it's like, oh, now it's just a dude with like shiny parts on. It's like, no, it's like a Viking that doesn't belong in the game.
Listen, THQ loved doing that.
Yeah,
I will
THQ.
say, yeah, this era, like the PS2 original Xbox, was all about AA 7 out of 10 games. Because you could just, not every game had to sell 50 billion copies and make $1 trillion. Like, the game could just be okay, and people would buy them and play them. And, you know, they'd get sequels sometimes, and they didn't shut down the entire studio afterwards because we used to live in a society, so.
Well, and I know the like MX versus ATV series is still going, which I
Yeah.
think this is like, you know, obviously a way older title compared to that. But I think like the last one of those I played, they tried to take it a little bit more serious, where this is just, we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
And I miss those sports games.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, you don't get those much anymore. And like you said, if a video game has a tribal tattoo in its logo, it's on my
You
list.
know when it came out.
You know when it came out.
You broke it.
I mean, it broke it. There we go. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Who is this?
Yeah,
This is
okay.
me.
That's you?
Because this was like part of the resurgence of Mortal Kombat to you know, in an era. Like we were just kind of coming into the 360 and PS3 and you know, was it Acclaim? I don't even know who made this, who published it at the time.
I think it was just
Midway.
probably.
Or maybe it was Warner.
I think it was just WA
Yeah,
at that point.
whatever. They're like, let's put Superman against Scorpion.
Yeah,
and
we own both of these.
Yeah,
Like,
we own these properties. And you couldn't, like, the heroes, I remember the heroes couldn't have fatalities. They had brutalities. So this must be a modded version, because I don't recall there being
There
that
was
much
never
blood.
No way.
No, so,
Way to go.
yeah, the Mortal Kombat guys actually had fatalities, I think, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember.
And I know the villains were, like, extremely brutal. But it was interesting, because nobody had really done a weird, like, crossover, like this. Yeah, we had Marvel versus Capcom,
Yeah.
but this was like the realistic side of things. And I always found it fascinating. It's not a great game. I probably wouldn't recommend playing it unless you're like, I'm kind of done with
Kind of
Mortal
barely
Kombat 1.
functions as a Mortal Kombat game.
But it kind of did relaunch Mortal Kombat in a way, and it definitely got us ready for like Injustice,
Yeah,
which is
It
awesome.
it was definitely a
Yeah.
blueprint for Injustice, and without it, like, you can't have garbage games like this
Right,
pretty
yeah.
much without better ones.
For sure.
the Joker that they put in this, they basically just plopped into the franchise.
They did, yeah. And it had like two storylines. You can like, or one storyline, but you can select which side you want.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
So it was like weirdly, I don't want to say ahead of its time. It was definitely of its time, but,
Definitely of its time. That's
but it was a decent time, let's just say.
like New 52 era, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Okay. More than video games, I am a movie guy. So when they announced that they will be making The Godfather video game, you just sit back and go, what? why? How? That doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't even adapt the book. Why would you try the movie? One of the greatest movies of all time. What do you do? Turns out they figured that part out pretty well. You play an wholly original character set during the first movie. So you're working your way up the Corleone family, and you're like, shake down businesses, and like, they would re-release the 360 version. Like, came out like later and stuff. Like, they had like a Wii version that was weird. Oh, yeah. They kept re-releasing versions of it, but like, this game was.
The thought of a Wii version of the game.
Right.
Like an actual shakedown.
No, it is.
That diagram fits.
That's the ideal
You have
way
to
to
aim
play.
like within the
Yeah,
square.
no, they did some
It's
stuff.
just
and
like this. It's so
Grab them by the
peak Wii.
collar.
and it's of its time. It's an open world 360, like
We're gonna get a remaster on Switch too, though.
Yeah, remaster. Yeah.
like sub GTA, but like what was crazy about it is that they actually got a lot of like people back for it. Like there are actors from The Godfather that they
I remember
actually
that,
got
yeah.
Marlon Brando to re-record lines for this game, but it was at the end of his life completely unusable, so they had to get a sound alike. So there is a version of this game that has Marlon Brando reprising his role.
Amazing.
I wish we could actually get. I know it sounds because he like recorded it in a bathroom, so it's all like echoey. Like there's some stuff out there, but for a movie game, especially a movie game that shouldn't work, it works pretty good. And actually, I went back and played it a little bit, and it's still a really good. It's a very Mafia-esque game. You could tell it's definitely more Mafia than Grand Theft Auto, but it still holds up pretty well. I think a remaster actually would probably do pretty good in this modern
By the way, there
age.
was the Mafia panel, I think, earlier today.
Yeah.
Thematically, you were right on it.
I was on. Yeah, it's not just a hat rack.
Here's another 7 out of 10 game that might cost some
no.
Oz.
So that's me. It's a super. So I've
Gonna
played
get
thousands
canceled.
of. Sorry. Please. Oh, so I've played thousands of hours of card games in my entire life, and like, some people were like, this was probably supposed to be an NFT game, like 100%, and like they had to definitely deviate to that because now, like, I actually like. No, the battling system is fucking bad. What am I saying? Yeah, like, you get that serotonin from opening packs, but, you're just opening fucking JPEGs. So it's so
Look,
straight.
every time I go to that vending machine, there's sold out. I'm jonesing for some packs.
You can come to Canada, and then we can do it there.
They won't let us in anymore.
Yeah.
It's just such a, like, and I played every day. Like, I pulled packs, I bought the season fucking DLC stuff, and also they release way too many packs because there's no downtime, and you've already spent energy or whatever to pull, and then they're like, oh, we're making another pack, a mini set, and you can't keep finishing the collections. It's like,
I'm like 3 cards shy in each of the packs.
we need to trade.
So I have a free pack in my
Oh my
next
God,
pack.
we're not.
Let's tap. I'm gonna do this live.
Oh,
do this live. Let's do the.
This is sick.
I'm gonna tap this. Sarah, will you do the honor and swipe?
I think they know how.
You didn't
I
check if
didn't-
any
I
of the
got
corners were wrinkled?
Carablast. I got a new card that I did not own, Excadrill.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
this is
Legender, also a card.
Welcome to the
This is
Pokemon
great.
panel, everyone.
Crabroll. Ooh, Incineroar EX.
Yo!
Yo, dude. Damn, we are ready to
my
go.
wrestle
You only
boy.
need one copy for that deck,
got the
too.
champ-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a cheat code card.
Yeah. I just, yeah. Oh,
going.
sorry.
That's right.
Yeah, that was
I ruined.
Oh, wait, I could open a pack, too. Which
Oh,
one
did
did
you?
you
We can't.
Yours
We
better than
have
mine?
40
We
minutes.
have
We got
time.
open?
Dude,
I
people are
did
leaving.
do that. Yeah. This is wonderful for y'all.
This is great.
By the way, we have some free Pokemon cards for you guys.
This is
too.
great TV.
So I'm just gonna open the Lunala pack. We'll see. Probably nothing. Oh shit! I actually might. Oh, I got immersive.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit!
Let me see, dude.
Look at that.
Oh, I got that the other day. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
Oh look, it does the animation too.
Man, I wonder why they're always sold
am I
out
in
of
the
the
way
pack.
here?
Yeah.
Well, then I might as well. No.
Now this is the magic of PAX East because we both got like awesome cards in PAX.
Yeah, I just wish the game was a lot better. Trading took so long to come.
Yeah.
Wait, they launched this shit without trading?
Without
They
trading.
just added trading too, and you can't trade.
It's the most convoluted.
You can't trade the current set. So anytime there's a new set, then you can start trading the older sets.
You know, like Pokemon the trading
So
card
like
game. You gotta wait
the one I
3
just
months.
pulled or the one Dali just pulled, we can't trade
We
them
can't trade.
until the next set, which is in like 3 weeks.
Well, move
It's so bad.
Luck be a landlord.
This is mine.
I love this.
So Taylor, why don't you put away doing your taxes for a second?
Yeah,
and
right.
join
Yeah, please. So I picked Luck Be a Landlord. I unfortunately, I thought of this bit like too late. This should have been like a spread where it was Balatro. Oh. And then when I would have been like, Balatro, inspired by Luck Be a Landlord. That was gonna be my pivot, but that's too late. So Luck Be a Landlord. Actually, that is a true story. Local Thunk, creator of Balatro, drew inspiration from Luck Be a Landlord. So it's a roguelike slot machine. It's kind of like a roguelike deck builder where you add symbols to your slot machine and then you have to spin the slot machine to pay rent.
Okay.
Balatro being 18 plus and that being E for everyone is so fucking wild.
I don't know, maybe that's why Local Thunk got stuck with that rating in Australia for so long. But yeah, I mean, like, it's fun. It scratches a lot of the same itches, which is like kind of trying to build a combo so number goes really high. But then you're like, yeah, I'm done with this for a while. And then you'll come back to it and you get the same kind of thrill out of it. You fail to make your combo for like 2 hours and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm done. And then you come back again. Yeah, it's fun. But it's not as good as Balatro.
But nothing is as good as Balatro.
Or Ballionaire.
Yeah.
Yars Rising.
That's
That's
yours.
you. You can
That's a
grab that
great
mic real
choice.
quick. Run over there
Yeah.
and just do stand up.
This is a really
This was
good
Matt's
seven.
choice, one of Matt's choices.
Hello. I thought I'd go with a more recent option just to remind us that 7 out of 10 games can exist in any era.
That's right, correct.
This one was actually at PAX last year by Way Forward, the people that did all the Shantae games. And you know what? As a Metroidvania style game, it is perfectly serviceable. It's actually quite enjoyable at times. And it does what it does adequately. It doesn't excel in any one area, but it's not bad in any of them either. It ended up being like one of my top 10 games of last year, but like on the lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've never played it, you could do worse. And isn't that what a 7 out of 10 game's really about?
Yeah, I reviewed this one, and the meanest thing I can say about this game is that it's got that, like, he's right behind me, isn't he, dialogue.
I know. But you know what? It works for it. It works in this context.
Yeah.
And the hacking games based on the original Yars game are fantastic.
It's a fun new trend of how can you recontextualize a game that had almost no contextualization to begin with. So they did a good job at figuring it out.
Good team.
I like how he said, yeah, it was in my top 10 games, but kind of like the lower half of the top 10 games, somewhere in like the 7 area.
Yeah. What's the back half of the 10?
Yeah, back half of the 10 somewhere.
What?
Oh, man.
That's a
Who
crazy
remembers
pull.
this game? Who
That's
else
a
gold
crazy
in this room?
pull.
Okay. So back when I was a kid, there were so many licensed games. Every company had its own game. Every movie got an adaptation. McDonald's was like, yeah, we'll make a game, why not? Okay. And the result was like a surprisingly slightly above average platformer, you know? Like, yeah, it wasn't Mario, but it was fine. It was a lot of fun. It had some good platforming mechanics that you didn't really see on the system at the time. You could switch between the two characters, so, that's basically like a character creator, except not. Yes, and like, you collected little M's instead of coins, and it was all loosely tied into, the Hamburglar and Ronald McDonald, which were, if you were a kid in the 90s, you definitely had a birthday party at McDonald's.
Yeah.
So, this was,
It's
so,
a perfect combo. You play this and then you watch Mac and Me.
Did you say it's a
There you
perfect
go.
combo
There's a
meal
5-hour
of playing
video
this?
essay somewhere for the whole thing. Like, there's a lot of lore and nuance.
Yeah.
I
Gotta have a
just-
high IQ to understand it.
yeah. This is like the kind of game that, like, you know, when your dad would take you to Blockbuster and you'd rent it for a weekend, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh, that's
yeah.
great. I don't need to own it, but, like, it's fine.
It's the kind of game, you should have said, it's the kind of game where your dad had you for the weekend and they took you to Blockbuster and this was all that was left.
I was just going to say this screenshot would not be okay in 2025. I don't think a man can walk up to a child and ask to help him find his magic bag.
A random child on the road and a spooky clown man is like, help me find my magic bag.
I mean, if the Hamburger is the one that stole it, though.
Yeah, the Hamburglar, yeah.
But you're right, like the era of licensed games for the NES and like that era was just, it was incredible. I mean,
Everything just
I like that they
getting
didn't
it.
even try.
Jaws,
Like that,
Top
yeah.
Gun.
like it was fair game. Like, hey, there's a movie coming out. Let's make a game. All right, we'll flip that $50,000.
We did have a
Kids
Burger
demand a
King game with
Platoon
Sneak
video
There were
game in
Burger King
1989.
Oh wait,
Look, if we're gonna talk about Ghostbusters, I am going to have to put on
There we go.
my Ghostbusters suit, if I can get it on right. So, yeah, I'm a bit of a Ghostbusters fan. Yeah, boy. Half of my bedroom is decorated with proton packs, traps, props of anything Ghostbusters related. This game, to me, is a 10 out of 10, but to the world at large was a 7 out of 10. This was the Ghostbusters 3 I always wanted. It's kind of vaguely inspired by a lot of the Ghostbusters 3 stuff that they had been working on at the time. It's fully cast. I mean, that was a big deal. Like, these guys were old then. So, coming back, and we've lost Egon in the time between this and Afterlife. So to have the entire core cast reunited was a big deal for pretty much anyone that has a Ghostbusters fight suit.
he sleeps in this. by the way.
It captures Ghostbusters so well. It's not a particularly deep game. A lot of the stuff that they introduced in this game, they sort of kept lore-wise in a lot of weird ways. Like when Hasbro put out the Neutrona wand, it actually has the Ghostbusters game stuff. It has the slime blower in it, and it has the ion charges. And this game means something to Dan Aykroyd in particular. So.
Wasn't there a Wii version?
There was a
You
Wii
actually
version.
used,
No, the Wii version also has a different art style.
Okay.
They
Oh, that's right,
cartoonified
yeah.
the Wii version, but it was the same plot, just a little like not realistic. And the DS version was whatever.
was DS.
Yeah, but
Awesome.
This game is my probably all-time 7 out of 10. I can't believe I've waited this long to do this. I could go on for another 45 minutes just about the Ghostbusters if we really.
He's got
needed
18
to.
slides.
Yeah, if you hit the next one, it's going to be talking about John Belushi and how he is Slimer. So just let's go with Slimer.
And they just re-released it again. Or like
No, a few years ago they did the remastered one. It's on everything and like it plays.
It's always like on an
good.
eShop sale for like $6.99.
And this game,
I'm like, I probably.
This game almost didn't come out, if you remember. This was when they were. This was. I can't remember who it was originally. Activision. Thank you so much. It was this and Brutal Legend.
Oh, that's right.
And they both got obviously picked up. Atari is now, grabbed it for its release at the time because they had there was the Ghostbusters game that leaked online that Zootfly wanted to make, and they said, no, we're not making that game. But then, then actors like, but what if we made the game? And they're like, you know what? Yeah, how about you make the game?
So the next one is me,
Oh, God.
and I figured I couldn't quite put into words myself, so I decided to phone a friend. Let's see if this works.
Oh, God, no.
Yes, hello there. So on and so forth.
He's very nice and very
This is
evil.
to Team SideQuesting from Dali have to roast someone, it says. Friends and I are discussing mediocre video games. If you're bored with the Space Mutants, it is the absolute perfect 7 out of 10 game. Simpsons and Space Mutants seems as prominent as this one. I see. Well, does that mean it's bad? I don't understand. Is it mediocre? 7 out of 10 would be pretty good to me. I'd say mediocre would be like 4 or 5 out of 10. So, I don't know. The game is quite hard, though. It's impossible to beat almost. So, I suppose. But nevertheless, up yours to your friends for suggesting something else, I guess. Or I don't know if it's up yours to you. Who knows? May all of your enemies be cursed, just in case. I suppose your answer is correct. Boogerman.
God bless Danhausen.
Thank God there are subtitles.
Yeah. So I chose Bart first, the Space Mutants. This is a game that my brother and I used to play nonstop when we were little kids. We thought, wow, they got The Simpsons in a video game. This is perfect. And it was like this weird hybrid of like a skateboarding adventure and platforming, and that if you could get past that first level, I think there was like a mall level later on. And it just
Nobody got
really
past the first.
No one got past the first level. It was a really weird game, but like, it was endearing to me from back then. And there's like hardly any reviews out there. There were definitely no review scores. I think it got like 3 happy faces on GamePro or something.
Bart looks like it hurts to exist for him. If you like look at his design.
I don't know if they knew what they were designing when LJ, was it LJ? Acclaim.
It's Acclaim.
Acclaim, when they made this, they're like, let's just find something that we already had in the bin and throw a Simpsons thing on it. But I remember loving the colors, loving how pop it was. And then we completed it. We loved it. We thought it was a lot of fun back then. We decided the Bartman vs. Radioactive Man was coming out. So let's trade this in and see how much money we can get for it at EB Games. No, it was Babbage's back then. Babbage's. You guys remember Babbage's?
EB Games is coming
Babbage's
back
was 7
too,
out of 10.
which I'm so surprised about.
EB Games was Electronics Boutique when I grew up.
It was fun
and so
co-man
we
for
took
me.
it to Babbage's, and I said, yeah, I just purchased this, and it's not working. Can I get Bartman
Oh my
vs. Radioactive Man? And it worked. And that signaled the downfall of GameStop.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Wow.
But yeah, I still enjoy this game because it was just a weird concept to have on the NES. But looking back now, it's actually really forward-thinking for what
Yeah,
it
The
was.
Simpsons, as a franchise, is perfectly suited for 7 out of 10 games.
Yeah, totally,
Yeah.
totally. Hit
And there are a
run.
bunch of them, and they're all just like, yeah, it's a 7 out of 10. We're the Simpsons. What do you want?
Yeah,
Which-
yeah.
And it has the weird licensing Simpsons where it's like, Bart's in a blue shirt because
Yeah.
that's what we did.
Yep. Red shirt in the picture
That's
on
just
the
what they
cover
did
of a
then.
blue
It's
shirt.
just-
Yeah.
Dali,
And
take a guess. How many copies does this game sell at $40 each?
at $40 each, I'm gonna
As of
guess.
1992.
As of 92, I'm gonna guess
When they stopped selling.
11,000 copies.
1 million copies.
1 million.
Simpsons mania cannot be overstated.
That's insane.
All right, we are 26 minutes left. Next.
That's my.
the heart of the card.
Okay.
Oh my god! Thank God. Okay, so this was a game I played as a kid, of course. A big thing about it was you get the 3 physical cards, and so you get Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, Harpy's Pet Dragon, and you get what the fuck? I don't remember what the last one was, but it was ahead of its time in a lot of the ways. I would say it definitely brought a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players to be able to play a game in North America. It came out in year 2000. Every single card has a 3D battle image, and they're so intricately well done. It's kind of surprising what Konami did at that time to push the graphical envelope with that, because it's very surprising and just kind of it's a very slow scene, but you can see these monsters that were never even released in English to be doing water sprays or mists or whatever. And people talk about Dark Souls being one of the most difficult games. For me, that's just so easy. This game, this is my Dark Souls. I still haven't ever beat it. And the card stuff was weird because So if you want a good card like Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dark Magician, they cost like 999999999 star chips. So like I, as a kid, was trying to position like, okay, so if I do like 100 star chips a day, I could just unlock Blue Eyes White Ultimate Dragon and just beat the game. Fucking never did that. So I think it was, it's also like, we definitely brings a lot of the funding Konami has. This is their most popular and highest grossing product. No other, for Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, they make the most money on Yu-Gi-Oh! People are hyping up with like what's Suikoden remaster happening, and the only reason the Suikoden master happening is because they have Yu-Gi-Oh! Money. And when you have Yu-Gi-Oh! Money,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Money, I've
whatever
never heard that before.
Yeah. So I absolutely love the game. Hopefully I'll beat it one day, maybe. But I think it was very cool, especially because at the time when it was being played in North America, a lot of the Egyptian focus and the storytelling of that for the main character wasn't really revealed in too much source material as it was later on. And this game definitely, like, you get sent back to ancient Egypt, and there's a lot of character building that kind of just doesn't exist in the show, and it's very interesting in that sense. And I still, the creator, Kazuki Takahashi, passed away a few years ago. He actually passed away. He was saving a few people's lives while they were drowning. And I still think about the creator like every week at least, because like card games like this, they taught me English and like improved my reading. And so it's very important in that sense. And yeah, so I think it's been 2 years since he's passed away, but like even like at his last moments, he saved a mother and child from drowning in a storm, like really imbued the embodiment of the main character of what trying to do for that. Why am I like tearing up for about this? Yeah, it's
we gotta move on. Let him
yeah, I absolutely love the game. I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games in general don't get reviewed very well because they don't have people really doing them the best. And even though it was like a pretty bad card game and like it's design-wise, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not played like that anymore, we wouldn't have like fantastic card games like Slay the Spire or Balatro without it. And it was a big stepping stone for North American gamers to be able to get like a proper full version card game. And the multiplayer aspect was interesting because you played a card, let's say you play a card face down, and then your player two knew what you played because they're next to you. So like it was like so sometimes I would just like I had a friend I'd play and like we'd do our own turn and then we'd turn away so we wouldn't know what was happening.
You need the cardboard on the screen.
Yeah, like Madden, so you don't see me pick my play.
And one of the funniest things, like seeing the AI of how it was back then, if you put a card face down in attack position, the AI will get scared and think it's like a strong monster. Like they don't do that shit anymore from the Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's cool that you can like see how the AI has evolved through like Yu-Gi-Oh! Games in 20 years, like directly impact. But yeah, it's funny that you can just like scare most of the early game enemies by just putting a card in face down attack position, and they'll be like, it's like a fucking 500 monster that they definitely could have beat over, but they're like
cheat codes.
Yeah.
All right, Parking Garage Rally. Every year we do this, I try to get one game that's so old no one's going to play it, and one game that's just basically a sales pitch. If you or a loved one suffers from ska fandom and you're not already been prescribed Parking Garage Rally, I highly suggest it. It's kind of a like trials, like speedrun type of game where you're just basically set in a parking garage through many different international locales. And you're just set on these tracks and trying to set the best time. But this system has a drift system that allows you to like basically bake your sort of drifts into it, so you can like break around corners and still have that momentum and basically go from like 50 to 200 miles per hour just from clearing the drift.
How I drive.
So yeah, on Steam Workshop support, so everybody's making a bunch of maps. Like Sonic 1 has already basically been recreated in the game, so you can drive it. It's got cheat codes for different tracks and stuff. My favorite part about it is the settings menu, which is going to sound insane. But the way that they do it, as you can see, it's like old pixel art style. They have like basically for the settings of the visuals, they have like target systems. So there's like a fake like Mega Drive and there's a fake like PlayStation 1. So like all the sort of like filters and stuff are all built around that. Like the game runs faster on some of the consoles depending on which ones you run. So it's just like, and there's no separate leaderboard time. So if you're on one of the slower running machines, so there's leaderboards and all that type of stuff.
When did this come out, Sam?
Last year.
Yeah,
It cannot be understated enough just how important the soundtrack is to this game.
Yes.
It is one of the single greatest ska achievements of all time.
It has been specifically recorded for this game. And if you've ever played Sonic R, which is that really bad Sonic racing game, like the soundtrack sounds a lot like that, but ska, so it's incredible. They also sell a vinyl.
There are lyrics.
Yeah.
So they're all original songs.
Yeah, so if you're like even vaguely interested in those sort of like vehicle or even like sort of speedrunning like games, like this is great. Like highly recommended. And if you've got a CRT to play it on, looks great too.
Ghost in the Shell.
God,
He has two Ghost in the Shell.
this game had a foil cover. That's how you know it was cool.
Dali, this is really awkward. That was supposed to be Tears of the Kingdom. No, see, what I love about this is it's very indicative of the entire PS2 era, and even before that, PS1, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, is that we tend to forget that every IP in existence would have a video game tie-in. If TV shows, movies, comics, cartoons, if you existed, you probably had a video game adaptation, and they ran the gamut of quality, but this one was really good. It had nothing to do with, like, it ran its own storyline compared to the anime, but for being a PS2 third-person cover-based shooter game, it was fun.
It says standalone complex on the box, but
yeah,
it is not standalone.
No, it was based on the TV show and the concept of you played as the Major, and that was about where it started and stopped. But I mean, it was very, again, serviceable. It was fun. I have very good memories attached to it, but if I went back to it, and I never will because I don't want to ruin that memory of it, I know it would just be rough. And that is, to be fair, that's the PS2 era in general, but I miss those days where you could have an IP game based on anything and it wasn't a gotcha on mobile. But,
right.
you know, I'm an old man and I yell at clouds sometimes, and it's a fun one. Go play it. Go
And
team.
it looks like she's like kneeing him in the nuts.
Yeah.
I think she was. There was
if I remember
fun.
the game
There was
correctly,
takedowns.
Possibly.
Okay. So, who played Carmen Sandiego computer games in the 80s and 90s? Okay. Aren't we so old? Oh my God. Yes. So, this came out earlier this year. I reviewed it for IGN. I gave it a 7. It's a very delightful 7. So, I used to love the old Carmen Sandiego PC games when I was a kid. And it was one of the games my parents were okay with me playing because it was edutainment, which was a big thing in the day. And basically, the only way my parents could get me to care about school was to tie it into gaming somehow. So there were a lot of edutainment computer games in my house. And in Carmen Sandiego, you would track down these like master thieves around the world and collect clues and send out search warrants. So when I sat down to play this again this year, I was like 8 years old again. And I just, remembering the thrill of like narrowing down the suspects and, globetrotting across the world to find out who stole this like ancient Viking ship from a museum or whatnot. And I say it's a 7, but this is a really, really great game for younger gamers, I think, or maybe for like parents and their kids to play together. So
It's really hard to do a game like this today because you can just Google the answers to where
Yeah.
where was the Sphinx.
But they do a great job
they
of like.
figured it out.
Yeah.
There were some geography questions where I was like, I think I would have failed like a 4th grade test because it's just like, which of these cities has been around the longest? Like, I don't know. I'm a dumb American. I'd have no idea. There were like some math questions that dumped my husband, which is hilarious to me. Yeah, and there were definitely times where it's like, it's like getting an A+ on like a 2nd grade spelling test. It feels like, but it still felt good. So.
And there's actually like an older, like one of the DLCs is like the old style game.
Yeah, so that's the other thing is there's DLC with the classic Carmen Sandiego with the pixelated graphics and everything, and those are actually harder.
Yeah.
So those stumped me a couple of times.
And last,
Oh, yeah.
all you
Yeah, like I
care
said,
about
I said
is seeing
AAAs
chaos.
and their publishers are not immune. So yeah, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. We're almost nearing time, and we want to get your comments in, so I'll keep this one short. It was a pretty good game.
7 out of 10. See?
7, like it.
But no, I mean,
Taylor, I
yeah,
respect your brevity.
it's a good action game.
Yeah.
It's light on story when there wasn't really one to begin with, since it was trying to recreate Final Fantasy Origin story. And it had some.
It's a funny game.
Yeah,
And it's a funny game.
They don't
Like
tell
you just really can't take it too seriously. I mean the jokes that came out after the trailers where he literally just turns on the music is so
away.
fucking funny. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed playing it.
All right. So that's the 14. We're gonna rank them. Now we have 13 minutes left.
I don't think.
We're gonna do a blitz ranking system of these. So I have to, hold on, give me 1 second here. I'm going to share this in a different way. Let me stop extending, and I'm going to mirror this, choose this comment.
You have 8 seconds.
Okay, I'm trying.
Callie, this is a nightmare.
Can you guys see it now? Yeah. Okay. Yars, is it an just like shout as loud as you can
Rowdiness.
if
We're
it's
ranking
how
on
rowdy you
rowdiness.
are.
A is good.
I agree with that.
Parking garage.
S for ska.
Carmen San Diego.
Let's give that a B.
I heard B's and C's.
B's.
B, C, B. Okay. Stranger Paradise. S. Wow.
Good, I've
Pokemon Pocket. Sorry. Bart versus Space Mutants.
F.
C is good.
C. Yu-Gi-Oh.
The heart of the card.
S. A. S or A. Wow, it's like tie up
A little in the middle.
little in the middle.
A
As
plus.
rankings
MK.
go.
D. Let's go with
I agree with
D.
D.
Luck be a landlord. B, S, F,
F.
It's about paying rent, so
Yeah.
F, F.
It's about being a
sucks.
rentoid.
M dot S. I hear a lot of S's.
I agree. I agree.
Godfather.
That's a C if I ever saw.
B,
B.
C for Corleone. Yeah.
MX Super
S.
S.
Wow.
And finally Ghostbusters.
S plus.
B,
B.
A,
Me and that one guy back
B
there.
plus.
B plus right there. There you go. Those are our rankings of the most mediocreest games. Wait, hold on.
What now?
Because C is in the middle, that's the most mediocre. Technically, Bart versus Space Mutants has won.
The most mediocre of all time.
All right, we got 10 minutes.
And now,
10 minutes.
your favorite sevens. We want you to come up to the mic. For anybody that
Lightning
wants
round.
to tell
Come on.
us, we're going to do a lightning round. We got 10 minutes. And we have
Oh, we got stuff.
We have
got plenty of stuff
merchandise
to
and
give away.
prizes to give away too.
right here, Tone. Take these. Once you're done, we're going to run these till we run out. We
You can open your own Pokemon card packs too.
Yes, we have some 7
You guys get Steam codes to a game that will be released in June 5th, Hard AF. Everybody who comes up will get one. Hopefully there's enough. If not, you're going to give out some Pokemon trick-or-treat cards. And then Stick around because if you were on there, we have a drawing for 7 awesome items. All right, number 1, who are you and what is your game?
Okay, I'm Danny, and my game is Harvest Moon, Another Wonderful Life. Okay, so it came out 2005, and before that was Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life 2004. Now what's the difference between the 2 games? You get to play as a girl in the one I just said, and a boy in the second. So the boy one has an 8 out of 10 on every site, and the girl one has a 7 out of 10. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, what's the difference in gameplay? Nothing. So the basic premise of the game is your dad dies, so your uncle goes, you could take over this farm if you marry someone and procreate within the year. So in the female
As farming
one,
goes.
in the female one, your marriage candidates are an Elvis impersonator, that's what he looks like, anti-capitalist icon rock who'd rather not touch employment ever, and then some hippie guy who lives by a tree. And I'm convinced that's why the rating was a little lower, because the female candidates all have something going for them. They're all designed adorably, and the girl version was never even a thought in their minds to be made. So they weren't intended to be marriage candidates. It's a bleak game. Everybody's miserable. You have kids in the village coming to you my parents fight with each other all the time. Your own kid hates you, and you die at the end of the game. So
And they call those games
love it.
cozy games too.
So get your code there. Tony, you might be running back and forth between
There's
both
people over
sides.
there, too,
He's over there too. Your name?
Hi, my name's Samantha.
Samantha?
My game is Detroit Become Human.
Oh, yeah.
The story absolutely has flaws, and the action events are questionable, but my God, do I love that game.
Yes, excellent, excellent. On this side.
I actually have mine right here with me.
Ooh.
Dirge of Cerberus.
Oh, yeah.
Final Fantasy VII.
Yes!
If you... Silence.
Bite.
Controls terribly, but you get a devil trigger. It doesn't matter. You get to mod a gun the whole time. Nothing makes any sense at all. You don't know why you're playing as Vincent Valentine.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Of course. What's your name?
Braden.
Greg?
Braden.
Oh, Braden. I'll just put you B. Okay, 4.
It's hard to hear up here.
Yeah, hard to hear.
Spencer is the name.
What was your name?
Spencer.
Spencer?
And my choice is Rage by id Software.
Oh, yeah.
Because, we all know about it. Some of us played it. It's fine. And I think that's why it deserves to be there. It's just fine.
Yeah,
It's just fine.
As we say, perfectly cromulent.
Been chasing that glaive feel ever since.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan.
Ryan?
Yep. I'm going with Princess Peach Showtime.
Ooh, yeah. Fair.
I actually bought the new Zelda on Woot, and they sent me that instead.
Oh.
And instead of returning it, I decided to play it, and it's got all kinds of weird mechanics. It's every intern got their own chance to make a game, but only 2 parts of the game. So it's just a weird, interesting thing that I wouldn't buy, but it's fun to play.
Love it.
Hey, my name is Robert.
Robert.
And from your guys' list, I can tell that you guys have an appreciation for underselling and underappreciated games on the PS2. So that would include Oni.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Bungie, baby.
It was a game that came out because Westerners had been watching anime for the past 5 years, and they're like, we can do that. And then
What if we made
out,
an Adult Swim game? Let's go.
Yes. And so it's just this very bare bones-ish 3D brawler that is just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the
And
end
then
of
they
it.
would go
It's
on to
it's
create.
kind of fun.
Yeah. Then
End
they would,
of sentence.
In a sense.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have to do lightning round, so 10 seconds a person.
Hey, I'm Nick. My game is Donkey Kong 64.
Oh, yeah!
Basically the DK rap.
Yeah,
but then the game is not very good.
There's too many bananas in that game for me.
My name's Gage. Wasn't sure if I was gonna. Yeah, Gage. Wasn't sure if I was gonna come up here, but when you said staycation games, something clicked in my head. This is the game that I go to whenever I don't know what to play, and it's Dead Space 3.
Excellent.
That's a good one.
All right, my name is Eric. When I was a kid, I went to Costco with my grandparents, got a triple pack of GameCube games. The first was a Double Dash, the second was a Sonic collection, and the third was Pool Paradise.
Pool
A billiards
Paradise.
game.
Love it.
This game had no business being as good as it was. And I just want to give my favorite part of it was when you would run out of money, you would go to a loan shark, and it was like a literal shark with a cigar. And if you went to him too many times, he'd eat you, and that was your game over.
Love it.
Respect it.
My name is Robert also.
You're number 10.
My favorite was an old Nintendo 64 game. I have no idea if anyone has ever heard of it. It's called Buck Bumble.
Yes.
You played as an anthropomorphic bee killing things in the backyard, and I always thought, oh, so that's what's happening when nobody's watching.
That's what really happens back there. Excellent, thank you.
You got a 5-minute warning.
What up, PAX? I'm Nicole. I brought you London 2012 last year. Right?
Yes.
This year, I'm going James Bond Agent Under Fire, specifically the multiplayer, rocket launchers, proximity mines, everything through your CRT is like go, 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 go. Could not beat single player, multiplayer only.
Love it. Thank you, thank you.
Gotta figure your cat out.
Gumby, I'm gonna just go with what I was gonna say originally, even though it was said for Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Mostly because beyond it being a game that brought everyone back together, if not for that game, we wouldn't have any of the amazing stuff we have today.
Right.
Including being able to get Skullhead vodka.
That's right. Yeah. What was your name again?
Gumby.
Gumby?
Big green guy.
Okay,
Wow. I'm glad he understands.
Hi, my name's Matt. And my game is Scarface, The World Is Yours.
Yes.
What if we took a pseudo-sequel to Scarface and also a pseudo-sequel to Vice City and just sort of mashed them together?
Perfect.
Hi, my name is LT. My game is Outpost, which was one of the Sierra Online games in the 90s, which is a pretty realistic scientific game, but you can mess it up in so many different ways. Even at the beginning, if you're supposed to load up your Ark ship to get to the next planet, you can just mess that up and not,
For sure.
not even put it in the engine. So, but it's all right. It's fine.
Excellent.
Excellent.
My name is Andrew, and I'm going to go with a racing game from 2001 by Sony called Kinetica. It's just a bunch of people. They put some wheels on their hands and their feet. You drive around. Ain't no story. You just butter the bread, put on some cheese, heat it up. You get a grilled cheese. It's not going to be the best thing you've ever had, but it can never complain about a grilled cheese. 7 out of 10.
All right, we only have time for one more, then we got to do a drawing, but stay in the line. My brother, if he's got any more left, we'll hand over to you. Last on the left over here. What's yours? Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah.
Another Matt. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. The Crystal Bearers.
The Crystal
Wii
Bearers.
sequel that
That's
just
very good.
uses motion controls for absolutely everything.
Yes. Yeah. So we got 16 for the first prize.
I've got 'em, everything
You
up
got 'em
here.
there. All right. A Dying Light 2 Stay Human hat. Number 11 is Nicole. You get a Dying Light 2. Tony, can you hand this to Nicole? Tony.
We're just gonna toss things to you.
We're gonna toss things to you, dude. All right, we got a D&D drawing thingy.
It's colored
Number
book.
8, Gage. Where's Gage?
You're here. You got your book. Not. We can just hand it.
Next, number 13, another one, Matt. Matt won. There you go. We got Balatro for the Switch. Number 14, LT.
It's the Peggy 18 version.
The Peggy
too,
18
so you
version.
can- Save this one for last.
That one for last. Okay, we got an awesome. There you go. Take it out. Leave it out. We got Saturnalia. We got this awesome mask. And I thought for the longest time, I'm like, man, they didn't send us a freaking code for the game to actually play. They just sent us this. Found out yesterday night as we were unpacking stuff, a year and a half later, oh, the code was in this. There's the actual code and a soundtrack and a record.
It's got a 45 in there. I could have stolen that.
Number 2, Samantha. Rock and roll. And last, with the last thing, you guys like Fallout? You guys like the Fallout TV show? Gunner Optics sent us these amazing Fallout glasses. They're in here. Check this out. They're really cool. They're like $140 glasses. So the winner, number 1, Danny. Wow, that was quick. There you go. Excellent. There you guys go. Thank you so much. I am going to post the, you're going to see all my Gmails here, but I'm going to post the link.
It's really
for,
smart, Dali.
Yeah, very professional. If you could scan this, and it's the survey. Hopefully we did good. If not, Don't scan it.
Please don't scan it. Tell us.
We love you guys.
Let us
we'll see you
live.
next
Yeah.
year at
Yeah.
PAX. Thank you. You've been fantastic. And we'll see you on the show floor. Feel free to yell at us for making bad choices.
Thank you so much.
I didn't make any bad choices.